All right, folks, welcome back to another game in our Battle Poker Summer League Season 1 here. This is our Week 1 table. I think this is table 4, I
Yeah, table four.
believe. Table 4, awesome. I'm Bot D. I'm here with my co-caster, Bat at Games. Bat, how are you doing today?
Hello. I'm doing all right. Excited for some battle poker.
Awesome. So we got some five-handed action here at table number 4. Lots of masters, and that one Zell stepping up to the plate as a new player here.
Frost, the 24 Ravens right off the bat. It's always a fun hand, first hand.
Yeah, when you're trying to feel out the table and see how everybody's going to be playing, getting such a powerhouse hand like that isn't always the best play.
Well, he raises it.
He is going to try to make some money off of this. Nice, big, healthy raise.
Yeah, at the DT's call.
DTs are going to get some very bad news here.
That's unfortunate. DT's first hand, though. That's a nice hand as well. Just unfortunate.
But you kind of have to level yourself and think about what other players are going to be playing at the same time on their first hand. Ravens have to be a pretty big part of that range. You know, maybe carriers, maybe battle cruisers, but what else is really going to be in there?
Yeah, for 18 times. I agree. A lot of good hands right here.
Ooh, lots of good hands. 15 Liberators, 25 Infestors, 10 Archons, 19 Phoenix, 11 Ghosts. All very playable to very strong hands.
Yeah. I wish the ghost count was a little higher, but 11 ghosts, I can still do work. I mean, it counters 3 of the
Absolutely.
units on the board.
Yep.
Question is, will he play them?
Prostacles seeing opportunity in the Liberators, pumps it up to 14.
Gets a few calls already. Gets a lot of calls.
Everybody wanting to play here. Oh, Frostacles picking up the 14 Ravens. Scarro with 10 Cyclones.
I think
Reach with
this is
14 High
where
Templar.
Rourke folds. If
Yeah,
they raise
Rourke,
too
I think,
much.
has to go away here. I think Frostacles is going to stay in. Reach might stay in. Scarro,
Scar raise. He
I don't know.
raises.
Scarro raises. Okay.
Frost re-raises. Yeah, he has a very nice hand. I like the re-raise.
Any action past this just means you're willing to go all in.
Pretty much, yeah. Another raise. Frost had Ravens the first hand. Will he believe him the second time around?
He's thinking about it.
Oh, I was ready to fight. Thought he was gonna call.
Nope. Oh, wow. That one Zell waking up with 15 ghosts. Let's see if he can recognize the value of them.
He says
Scar
tough
lamenting the
fold.
tough
Yeah.
hold.
It was a good fold though.
Definitely.
He'll be happy seeing that one. Now the question is for this new player with 10 games. I was about to say he folds 15 ghosts. How do you feel about that?
He's definitely still struggling with just the early part of what most people struggle with in this game, which is reading your own hand value. Ghosts may feel like they're a little flimsy, but in fact they do have 100 HP in this game. They do pretty okay DPS, and their EMP and Snipe give them a tremendous versatility.
Frost has gotten Ravens 3 times in a row, by the way. First 3 hands has gotten Ravens every single time. Alright.
Oh no.
Those ghosts would have been very helpful against Frost's hand there, but it's okay. He's playing it safe.
Starting up with 14 mutas this time for Frostacles, 25 Hydras for Scarro.
I like how Scarro commentates on Frost's overbetting. It'll make much more sense when he sees all the Ravens.
Yeah. Agreed. Let's see. Scarro's 25 Hydras picking up 13 Lurkers to go with it.
Yeah, Scarro, with 3-3, absolutely. Best hand there.
Puts the Lurkers in front correctly, I believe.
He checked it, by the way. I think he's going for a trap.
In a five-way hand, I'm not super duper thrilled with this combination. I think it's very much playable, but if I raise, I'm basically shutting down to any kind of re-raise. So I'm fine with a check call in this situation, expecting somebody else to potentially bet and pop up the amount in the pot a little bit for you, basically. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen this time around. It just goes check check around. It looked like
3-3 coming in clutch. Just barely gonna live. Is he? Oh, oh!
no,
Never mind.
no.
Siege
This
tanks.
tank's doing work.
Showing why they're siege tanks. That Tempest got so lucky.
Siege tank, good unit.
I think Frost has won every single hand so far. Every single pot.
I mean, if you look at the scoreboard, it's certainly
Yeah.
not lying. We have Frosty up in first place at 222, next closest at 108, and we are
Oh,
at hand number 4.
the tie. He didn't need the money anyway.
Frosty now once again waking up with 16 ghosts.
Reach getting the 3-3 lurkers.
True.
Everybody else just not really there.
Frosticles saying he's gonna go make himself a coffee.
I bet you he sat back down when he saw the ghosts. I've done that before.
Oh,
I'll be like,
wow.
all right, I'll be right back. And then I'm dealt 8 carries and I sit my butt back down. And I'm like, okay.
Never mind. After this hand, Reach getting battle cruisers to go with his lurkers.
That's gonna do well against the 3 carries and the ghosts. Scar wanted some action. Pick up the High Templar.
Unfortunately, they're going to be running into the EMPs from the ghosts. Got a few storms in for some DPS, but nothing really game changing.
Yeah, Reach just what a dominant hand.
Strong on the ground, strong in the air. What can you do?
Seen a
Alrighty.
lot of Hydra so far.
I'm gonna say Reach with 25 Hydras once again on the board. That one Zell with 15 High Templar are gonna wreak some havoc if the two meet.
Oh, he folds the 25 Hydras, and I actually like the fold, especially with Terran 3-3. That's a good fold. I like it.
I give it to you with the Terran 3-3. It's probably a good fold. If he had upgrades, not even necessarily not going. Sorry, misspoke. Not even necessarily going his way, but a smaller number like Terran 1-1, Protoss 1-1, I'd prefer the play.
Yeah. Those Scaro, Rorik, and Reach, they all like their hands.
20 Vikings, 10 Tempests, 8 Thors. Can't say there's anything wrong about any of those. Frosticles debating what to do with his 20 Widow Mines. I wouldn't blame him coming along for a little bit here. But generally, Widow Mines, you're going to want to play, one-on-one. But he has the money to call and just try to wreck somebody's day.
Scaro, pick up 25 Hydra. That's not bad. Not bad for a second card when your first card is Tempest.
Not at all.
Fortunately, Vikings, though. Vikings and
Yeah.
Thors.
Vikings are going to be a little bit rough here.
The Thors should win because the Vikings are going to take care of the Tempest. They're going to land
Yep.
it, and Thors are going to wreak havoc.
Yep.
Easy win for Rorik here. A nice payday.
Decent sized pot. Kaboom!
Yeah, the second they switch back their modes. Easy money.
Alrighty.
The only hand here that, unlike the 22 Zealots, that's, a funny hand I like to play when it's down to like 3 people. The only other hand I'm really looking at here would be the Phoenix.
Yeah,
Everything
I agree.
else.
18 Phoenix.
No.
You could play the 3 carriers and just assume the carriers are a support card. looking for something stronger on your second card, especially with the new 12 supply change on the second card. Um, but it depends on how expensive the pot is. That one Zell raising it to 15 with an ante of 3, uh, a little expensive for a hand like 3 carriers, especially without upgrades.
Well, I'd like to point out it was a raise upon a raise. Roar
It
could actually,
was, yeah.
Roar could raise first. Roar picking up the best second card he could ever ask for in this situation.
Oh, absolutely. Those Liberators are going to wreak some havoc.
Oh yeah, easy win for the Liberators and the Marines. Strong hand, very strong hand.
Very strong. Especially with the Terran 3/3. Just rip through them.
15 Liberators for Frost. He's doing quite well this game. He's getting his hands.
Yeah. It's a matter of if he can continue to capitalize on them. If he just continues to be straightforward with his betting, people are going to catch on eventually. He's going to have to bet with some stinkers and show up with not the best hand every once in a while if he wants to continue getting paid further on down the road.
Do you think Skara calls?
With 6, that's a little pricey.
Well, for me, I'd call just because it's DTs. They're either going to do well or they're not going to do well. They're either countered or they're alive. That's the way I look at them.
Yeah.
He does make the call. The only threat to those DTs are the 15 wildcards.
All right, fingers crossed. Reach puts them in the back.
I wouldn't mind a check here from Frost and Reach.
Yeah, I don't think either of them are strong enough to warrant a bet.
Frost says no, does it anyway. Reach goes all in.
Oh, wow.
Liking them wad cards. He's going to beat Scaro, most likely.
I don't like either of these plays, I don't think.
I don't know about Frost. Frost wishes he had more Swarm Host right now.
Yeah, definitely. Puts it down.
There's a Ghost. And a Raven. Yep. GG
Yep,
Scaro.
that's going to be that. Scaro taken out in 5th place for week 1.
1 Raven, 1 Ghost, and 1 Infestor. All it took to kill those DTs.
1 Raven's all it takes. Just 1.
I never noticed how tall the Warhammer is.
Lorehound.
Yeah, Warhound.
All right, now there's a DT count. Frosticles with 23 of them. That one Zell waking up with 18 Hellbats, 15 Lurkers for Ruark.
3/3 Lurkers, mind you.
3/3 Lurkers at that, yep.
Yeah, that's the only other decent hand here. They're 2 fold.
Frosticles picking up his own counter with 54 Banelings.
Banelings in front. Yeah,
There
he
it
knows.
is, yeah.
He knows. How much is he going to bet? Yeah, okay.
26
I could see a fold.
48, I think that math works out.
Doesn't.
So roughly half pot.
The Zergling's just vanishing.
Yep.
I wish I could see how much health those DTs were on. I want to.
Would be nice, yeah.
Oh, that splash.
We saw the shields pinging, but
I mean, it was 3/3 too, so I'm sure they did a decent amount of damage, just not enough to kill.
Yeah.
Frost getting my favorite hand, 17 wall cards.
17 wild cards, 14 Ravagers for Zell.
Oh, 7 Battle Cruisers.
Oh my goodness. 23 Phoenix for Reach, though. He's going to feel a little aggressive with those, I would guess. Even against Zerg 2-2.
I don't really hate anybody's hands here. Obviously, Rorik has the worst hand. Maybe even not with the 2-2.
He needs to, if he's going to consider playing anything, he needs to put the Void Rays in the back.
Yeah,
pronto,
agreed.
before he decides to, yeah, okay, he's going to let it go.
I like the fold.
Yeah, absolutely. It was not a playable hand, but I mean, if you're going to sit there and think about it, you need to go ahead and put those Void Rays in the back where they belong.
Battle Cruisers just showing why they're so dominant. They
Battle
don't lose a single one.
Bruisers.
Battle Bruisers.
Battle Bruisers. All right, as the antes escalate to 5, we saw Frosticles on top with roughly 40 bets, Zell down on the bottom with about 20. Zell picking up 15 Swarm Hosts, 16 Roaches to go along with it. Reach going big tanky boys with 3 carriers and 6 Thors. Excuse me. Frosticles should be letting this go.
Yeah.
Zell potentially going along for a raise, decides just to call. Should have the firepower to take out the Thors, but I don't think the carriers are going to be enough DPS to actually find and take out the Swarm Hosts.
No, this is
But
definitely a
we'll
tie.
see.
The Swarm hosts are buying themselves so much and just so much time.
Yeah.
And this is what, the second wave? After the third wave,
Yeah,
it
this
then
is
goes
the
to a
second
tie?
wave, yeah. Something like that, I believe.
Yeah.
In a 1v1 pot.
Just not enough firepower coming out of those carriers.
No.
They're trying, though. Trying their best.
They're
Just
doing their job. Staying in the back, chilling out.
needed more time. Oh,
Yeah.
oh. Oh, I like
Ooh,
Rourke's hand,
8
too.
carriers. 8 carriers and 7 Tempests. Oh, no.
Yeah, Rourke raises by 6. Frost just calls. Oh my goodness, Frost
He's
luck
setting the
today.
trap and picks up 15 Liberators.
Yep, that's gonna help a lot against those Tempests as well. You just eat all the shots, keep the carriers alive.
Yeah, the 17 Marauders unfortunately not going to factor into this hand. Frosticles pumps it up big.
Too big.
Arc realizes he has to let it go.
Too big of a raise in my
Too
opinion.
big of a raise. I'll agree with you. That was way over the size of the pot.
Way too much. He could have gotten more value out of that.
Arc raising with 24 Eye Templar this time around. Frosticles staying in with 8 Void Rays. Picking up 5 Battle Cruisers for the trouble.
24, I mean, I think the battle cruisers can live through it, but 24 High Templar, that's a lot of splash.
That's a lot of Storm. Unfortunately, those 10 Roaches are not going to be able to do anything this fight except tank.
Rourke may be a little upset that he didn't call the last hand. Calls this one. It's going to be upset again.
The Storm's going off. If we can get the Void Rays out of here, that's a start.
I think the
There go
battle
the
cruisers
Void
just
Rays.
live.
I think they do too. There's still a few Storms left in the tank, but it's not going to be enough, remembering that the Storms do not stack with each other. A couple more Storms would have done it, but alas, it just wasn't enough. The Frosticles battle cruisers take it down. Whew.
20 queens. Again, more High Templar. That's a lot of storms this game.
A lot of Storms. If they run into the Queens, they're going to eat up a lot of that Queen transfuse energy real quick.
Rourke definitely hoping for ghosts right now. All these players hoping for ghosts right now. Imagine if that one Zell had ghosts right now. Like good
wow.
good kind of ghosts. Just in
And
this
if he
lobby.
decided to fold them
Oh
like
no!
he did early on.
Oh no! I could see
Oh,
it.
man.
I could see it happening. Him folding like 14 ghosts in this situation. Folding the
Oh,
infestors.
wow. Folding the Infestors, Reach picking up 23 Vikings.
I'd like to point
Ooh,
out
decent pot.
Rourke just not getting good second cards.
No. Try as you might. Here comes the Storms all over the place for Ruark.
Storms are going to do great against the Vikings. It just depends on if the Queens will live.
Yeah. There's Adepts in front helping to tank quite a bit, but it may not be enough. Waiting for more Storms. I think that's all that she's got.
If he had Bax Adept, maybe.
Yeah, that would have helped.
That
Bought
would,
some more time.
Yeah, that'd give these High Templars time for the second one and just a lot of bulk. It still might be a tie.
Very well could be.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
not enough firepower coming out of those Queens.
Lucky, lucky.
Oh, everybody gets a hand here. Frost obviously having the worst. However, I do like my Oracles. If I get Max Oracle, I'll play them more often than not.
Oh yeah, Oracles are definitely playable just on their own, and the fact that they counter DTs is just icing on the cake.
I think that one Zell is gonna be up and out of here, depending on how big the bets are. Nope, he bets
Very
himself.
possible.
Really liking them Liberators.
And not very many Marines to back him up. Breach with the 11 Archon, 11 Immortal, Ruark with 19 Viking, and 6 Tempest.
That's a lot of Archons.
That's a lot of Archons.
Now I know it didn't matter, but I wish the Archons were in the back.
Really?
The reason for that is because that's your only way to kill air. You want them to stay safe for as long as possible. Let the Immortals tank.
That's one way to think about it, yeah.
Immortals in front, deal with everything ground, Archons hiding in the back, waiting.
I feel as if the Archons aren't that good against air anyway, so especially in a 3 or 4 way, you're kind of dependent on the opponents on killing each other.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to go ahead and put the Archons up front so that they can help kill off all the stragglers and keep your heavy anti-ground damage in the back with your Immortals.
Different views, we shall see.
Yeah, I mean, it could go either way. Frosticles not having to worry about that right now with 16 oracles. Decides
Folds.
to actually put it down.
I would have
Wow.
called. I would have been like, that's 32
It
raise.
was a big raise. 32 is a pretty decent size.
I just always hope it's Dark Templar in that case. I mean, they would have tied. They both had air that only attack ground.
Yeah. Reached with 7 Colossi.
So how you
That
feeling
one's
about
out.
Colossi lately?
I'm still not a fan. They're too vulnerable for the DPS that they put out. They die very much too easily if you don't have air superiority. And you just can't really get enough of them to have, like, consistent DPS against a big ground army.
It's fair. That's fair.
I feel like, anyway.
Well, these Marauders are
It's-
going to tear them apart.
Yeah. It's more the vulnerability thing than anything else. The fact that you need air superiority to go along with those colossi and leave them any kind of possibility of doing damage, it locks them into a much smaller range of hands that you can profitably play.
Well, Reach clearly agrees, folding these 7 Colossi and 16 Siege Tank.
Good man, Reach. All right, coming along this time with 24 stalkers.
I like my Stalkers. Stalkers are fun.
Too.
The Blink
Reach
Micro.
risen to 30. Ruark debating whether or not to call with 14 wild cards.
He does.
Picks along for the ride.
I'm sure we'll see 2
Trust me.
folds.
I'm sure we'll see 2 folds as well.
So now, how do you play this as Reach? If you get a second bad card, do you still go for it? No, he's checks.
No, absolutely not.
Just
Not
checks.
with only the 24 stalkers. The stalkers are a support card. They're not tanky enough or have high enough DPS to really do a whole lot on their own. If you put something tanky in front of them so they don't have to tank, they do great DPS. Or if you have something that you can put them in front of so that you can use their blink micro to keep them alive longer and have something in back doing DPS, then that's fine. But you don't want the stalkers having to cover both roles themselves,
Well,
if that makes sense.
Reach with 1,000 APM.
There you
Microing
go.
everything. Microing those Helians. Microing the Stalkers.
With six carriers.
3/3, 6 carriers. That's going to kill everything on the board so far.
Yep. Frosticles with 9 Broodlords, that one Zell with 13 Corruptors, Reach with 13 Siege Tanks.
Rourke all in. I like it.
Yeah, this is definitely the hand to go with after all this time. Frosticles lets it go.
I'm
That
going
one
all in
Zell
with the
comes
13.
along. Ooh, Zell picks up 19 Queens. Urark only getting 8 Zealots.
Rourke really needs these siege tanks to do some work.
Yeah, absolutely. He's already calling GG in chat. Let's see how it goes.
The Zealots, I'd
Those
like to point
Queens-
out. The Zealots just eating up everything, keeping them carriers alive.
Yep. May not be enough, though, as the Corruptors are moving in. Queen's finally getting there. Coming in with transfuses on the Corruptors.
These
Looks
siege
like
tanks.
the infestors are out of energy, but the siege tanks are still shelling away on the Queens. Queens are running out of energy for the transfuse.
These carriers starting to go down, but yeah, it's just No more transfusions left.
Yeah, and then there's not going to be enough damage left on the infestors to take down the carriers.
Is this a three-way tie? No, it's a two-way tie.
No,
These.
that carrier that queen's going to go down. Flip pot. Yep.
Well, there goes that one Zell. Rip armor
GG
8.
that one cell. Fourth place. Not a bad showing.
No, how many points was that? 5?
That is 5, I believe. 10, 7, 5, 4. No, I'm sorry, it's 4.
4? Still not a terrible
Yeah.
start.
No, not at all.
For I got 5 weeks left, 4 points. It's workable.
Absolutely. Got plenty of time to go, and remember, we are dropping your lowest score. So even if you don't miss a week, whatever week your lowest score is will be dropped. So you get a little bit of wiggle room if you have just one bad showing. No big deal.
Reach. I really like these 13 Cyclones.
Oh, yeah.
The Widow Mines. The Widow Mines are about to do some
Oh,
work.
no. Oh, no. Here go the mutas. One big pop. Oh, no. And those Marines coming in for the kill.
I'm just bullied. That's all that was.
Oh, my goodness.
I liked Reach's hand, too. Wasn't bad.
No, not at all. Alright, with an ante of 12, Ruark, unfortunately, not going to go all in with the one Mutalisk.
Nope.
Frostocles picks up 6 carriers, but nobody really has anything to stand up to him with, so it should just go fold, fold.
He checks it. I like the check.
Frostocles checks it.
That's a very good check. Give them the second free card. Hope they hit something. Make some money.
Yeah.
Reach, raising, trying to bluff. Not going to work. Frost is going to call.
Frost is definitely going to call this. Does he pull the trigger now and re-raise, or do you just call and wait for the second card and to keep the trap?
He decides
He
to
sets
wait.
the trap. Interesting.
Now,
What's Reach going to do?
He only picks up the 3 ultras. If Reach raises too big, what's going to happen?
Let's also not forget that Frost is out of position. He called knowing that he's going to be out of position post second card. So he has to decide right off the bat whether he commits to this trap or if he's going to go ahead and shoot a shot. He does raise 36, awfully small for the pot size already, and Reach decides to let it go.
I kind of wish I would have seen a check from Frost there. Set the trap even more. Let Reach fall into his own demise.
It depends on how well you trust your read. I mean, especially this close to where having both players this low.
Yeah, we can see the cards. We can see the cards.
This game is much easier when you can see the cards. Oh, Frost once again with 23 ghosts, Reach with 10 wild cards, Ruark with 11 Hellbats.
Yeah.
Oh man, those 23 ghosts ready to do some work.
Well, GG
Ruark. Frost has to call this. Yep. Reach sticking around as well. Picks up 34 Marines for the trouble. Frostocles picking up a few ultras to tank for the ghost. Debating whether to put the ultras in front. And yep, 18 Vikings for Ruark. Definitely a good pickup. Unfortunately, there's not going to be a whole lot of air here for the Vikings to deal with. They will land fairly shortly and have to fight everything else on the ground, which if those Ultralisks are going to stay alive, that's going to be problems for them.
I'm very surprised that Reach called.
Oh, look at that roll. Look at that roll. The carrier and the Raven. Unfortunately, the Raven doesn't get a shot off.
He got 3 Thors from that.
Oh, wow.
3 Thors, in which it's still not going to win. But that helped a lot against the Vikings.
That did help quite a bit.
But ghosts, man. Just a lot of ghosts. Trying to line it up. There we go.
Nice.
That's a cool kill animation.
The kill cam. Blinds are up to 16. Reach only sitting with about 4 blinds left behind. Frostocles with a full stack. Reach with a good hand, though. 13 mutas, 23 stalkers up against 6 ghosts and 11 infestors from Frostocles.
He folds.
But he folds. That big stack pressure from Frostocles just leaning on Reach, saying, I dare you to call.
Will he re-raise again? Yeah, he raises again.
Yep,
Just big
he's
stack
gonna
bully.
stay active. He's gonna stay active. Reach gonna have to pick a hand and jam with it pretty soon here. Decides that one's not gonna do it.
This one's not going to do it either.
No, it is not. Not with four
He
swarm
checks.
elves up
He
against
checks. Oh,
checks. Oh my goodness! And he picks up 18 ravens. Unfortunately, Frostocles does have the 12 Archons. We have seen Archons counter Ravens in smaller numbers. I don't know if this is going to be enough Ravens to punch through or not.
well, they are 3-3.
How are they playing? Well, remember that upgrade damage doesn't really matter for spells. It doesn't do anything for spells. And Archons do so much damage in their regular attack that armor isn't going to make much of a difference.
That's true. I always forget how the upgrades work a little bit. Let's see.
So it's very basic. Every point of armor takes away 1 point of damage for every shot that you take. That's why armor is much more effective on higher firing rate units. So, like a Void Ray, your armor is gonna be much more effective against a Void Ray. Marines, Zerglings, things like that are very effective or have a lot of trouble against armor.
Well, this is a GG from Frost. Well played.
GG,
A lot
well
of good
played for
hands.
us.
Very, very well done. A lot of good hands there.
All right. And it wasn't just that Frost was getting the good hands. He was able to bet them effectively. He was able to go ahead and draw out money when he had something strong, and he knew that the few hands that when he was beat, he went ahead and laid them down.
That's true. Well,
So
it was nice being with you. Nice being
nice
here.
commentating with you once again, sir. As always, thank you for coming on, folks. We'll see you next week with our week 2 analysis of our Battle Poker Season 1 Summer League. Folks, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you at the tables. Take care. Bye.